General Odierno, I wanted to follow up on some of the questions that Senator Blunt asked you about with regard to the A-10. There are different kinds of close air support, aren't there?
There are, ma'am.
Yeah. Some close air support is done at the 10,000-foot level, right, with precision-guided bombs, correct?
That's correct.
And then there's the close air support that saved 60 of our soldiers in Afghanistan last year from A-10s, where they dealt with a situation where the A-10s were flying at 75 feet off the ground using their guns, and they were within 50 feet of friendlies. And that's what the A-10 is best at, isn't it, right? That kind of air support?
Yes, ma'am.
And when you've talked about vulnerability, I think, in response to Senator McCain's question about the A-10, isn't that what we're worried about the TTPs about, that lower mission where getting down? I think the F-16 is a great platform, so I don't want to diminish the strength of the F-16, but as I understand it, the F-16 has to go a lot faster down there because it doesn't have the same type of survivability that the A-10 would. So can you help me understand this?
I mean, it is, so, you have close air support that provides, again, systems that are further away from lines. You have close air support that provides with troop contact, which is close contact, medium contact, and so there's different depths of the battlefield. And the A-10 has, over the years, provided us great close air support, very close in when we need it, along with the Apache helicopter. But the A-10 has different capabilities than the Apache. They are not interchangeable either. So it's given us a significant capability. The F-16 provides some capability. It is operated at a higher level. That's one of the things we have to look at. Can they operate at lower levels? And I think that's one of the things that we're working with the Air Force. What can they, and what are their capabilities?
But we're not, I mean, I think, General, just to be clear, when we've had, and I know that you and I talked about this last week as well, when we talk about developing TTPs for close air support for this, we're talking about that scenario where we're talking about the support needed on the ground, also having the capacity to distinguish between the friendlies and the enemy, because the A-10 can get low and go at a slower pace, and also it's a titanium tank, so it's got more survivability, correct?
That's correct, ma'am.
So you would agree with me, you've said in the past that for that mission, the A-10's the best.
It is.
And one of the things I'm concerned about, I know when you talked to Senator McCain, he asked you about the F-35 and whether the F-35 could replace the A-10. I think you said, I don't know.
If I could, what I said is, I know the F-35 is being built to replace it. I'm not familiar enough with the exact capabilities.
That's fair. And I think the F-35 is an important platform as well. However, it seems to me that one of the concerns I have is, even if we assume that the F-35 can replace the A-10, our plan right now has a gap, because under what General Welsh has introduced, all of the A-10s would be retired by FY19, and even best case scenario, the F-35A is operational in 2021. So there's a gap there. And so if we don't know the answer to this question on the TTPs of whether the F-16s or other platforms can perform this low function that is so critical to our men and women on the ground. I know you agree with that, because we have lots of stories to tell, and you have way more stories to tell than me on this. I think this is a very important issue that we should not overlook, and I'm hopeful that this committee will address, because I see a gap here until we know the answer to these questions. And this is a gap we can't afford, because these are our men and women on the ground who are taking the bullets, and we want to make sure that we give them the very best when it comes to this mission. Would you agree with me on that?
I'm always concerned about making sure our soldiers who are in contact have the best capability possible for them across all of our capabilities.
Great. Thank you, General. Appreciate